Hello everybody, I'm back with another book review. What else did you expect, honestly, truly? Today's book review, I will be going over my thoughts and feelings on Verge by Linda, I'm not really sure how you pronounce her last name. It is just a collection of stories that was supposed to be like very disturbing or weird, and yeah, I just kind of decided to read this on a whim. So I didn't really know what to expect with this, and I'm pretty sure I wouldn't even know what to expect if I knew what it was in the first place, because man, it is so weird. So weird. So all of the stories are like a little bit gross, disturbing. I would say that the main theme of this book would be, because it's like I said, it's a random collection of weird stories, but they all kind of have one thing in common, and that's the theme of like bodies, body parts, like internal organs, prostitution, sex, just like nakedness of bodies and like dead bodies and bodies. So other than that, the stories really had nothing else in common. It ranged from stories about high-key incest to just a couple arguing in the street to some woman being handcuffed and not knowing when she will be unhandcuffed because her like husband or something forgets to unhandcuff her, and that's literally just one story. It's just her being handcuffed, and like I just did not understand a majority of the messages. I didn't even know if there was any messages at all to some of them. There's only a few that had like coherent, okay, like this has a message to it, that there's some kind of meaning behind it. And the other ones that didn't really have a coherent message were just like, oh, this is a weird situation, and you're just reading this weird situation that's happening, and it's like, oh, okay, well, what really was that? This book was advertised and reviewed as like a very gritty and like taboo, intimate collection of stories, but it just felt gross, and not really in a good way. There was no, I would say that there's no style to any of the stories, really. It was just, I don't know, like there wasn't anything that made the writing stand out, because all of them were weird and different, but it wasn't in a good way. It was just so weird that like even the weirdest moments I was just like, okay, because there wasn't any. First of all, y'all know how I like my characters, and I just hated all of the characters. They were just angry and just the worst people. I know with short stories it's not really about the characters, it's just kind of like, oh, this is a stylistic thing that you can, and then after you read it you just kind of can think on it. But like, I mean, every single character was hateful, abusive, and I was just really sick of the theme of particularly females getting sexually abused and physically abused. I was like, it was literally like every story there was someone getting abused or like sexually assaulted, and I was like, and there just seemed to be like no, it was just, okay, this is happening. And so overall, I kind of understand what the book was going for, you know, like the gritty, like, oh, you know, the people in these situations in the stories, they're at the lowest of the low, and like what you're looking at, it's almost like surreal, and what you're reading is supposed to be disturbing, like it's supposed to make you shocked or whatever. And I'm not gonna lie, reading it, I did feel on the edge with like most of the stories, but it just wasn't great to read. I don't know, like I was just like, anything could happen, because I was just thinking anything could happen, like, oh, I've read all this junk, so anything could happen. I wonder what's gonna happen. Maybe I just didn't get the style because it definitely was not for me. But I did not hate all of the stories. Some of them were written in a very interesting way that I've never really read before. I think it was the last story that I still kind of think about, because it was just one page, I believe, and it was like just written in phrases that kept repeating themselves, and it was just like a spinny loop dream that I don't know, it was interesting. And then there were also ones about like immigration and I think drug addiction. There was like a story where someone brought in a drug addict from the street, and they were trying to like empathize with them, and I thought that one was really interesting too, because they were trying to help this person, but then they didn't want help, they just wanted drugs, and then they got like angry. Yeah, but the overall book was just not good for me, and I would give it a 2 out of 5 stars. Yeah, I don't know. It was just kind of an on the whim thing. I don't really normally read books like this, so it was kind of just it was fun to read something unexpected. I wouldn't really recommend this to anyone. Even if you are interested in like the disturbing taboo aspects of books, and if you like those types of books, I still wouldn't recommend it, because it's just like not like, it just makes no point. There's no meaning or point in a majority of like the stories. But yes, I think this is the first book that I've ever reviewed that I didn't like, so we're switching it up a bit. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed my review. It was more of a rant, but I will see you next time.